Hello, I'm Rollins, and welcome to Pharma Focus Europe. This is your gateway to the latest innovations in pharmaceutical industry, biopharma breakthroughs, clinical trials, and advanced manufacturing. Whether you're working in research and development, regulatory affairs, biotech, or anywhere in between, stay connected to pharma innovation anytime, anywhere with Pharma Focus Europe. Want more? Subscribe now. pharmafocuseurope.com/subscribe and get the latest updates delivered straight to you.
Hello, listeners. Today we're talking about something that really matters, putting patients at the heart of drug development. The topic is patient-centric drug development best practices and innovations. From smarter clinical trials to personalized medicine, the way we develop treatments is changing for the better. We'll touch on the latest tools, ideas, and challenges in making drug development more patient-focused. Before we jump in, meet our authors, Mike Cioffi, Senior Vice President at WCG, and Anna Worsley, CEO of FABRX-AI and Director of Innovation at FABRX. Together, they share powerful insights into how pharma can build better, more meaningful solutions for patients. Let's get started.
Hi Lisa and Anna. Hello everyone. I'm Mike Cioffi, Senior Vice President of Clinical Solutions and Strategic Partnerships at WCG.
Hi Lisa and Mike, nice to meet you. I'm Anna Worsley, CEO of FABRX-AI and Director of Innovation at FABRX.
Thank you, Mike and Anna, for that insightful introduction. It's great to have you both on the show. Your perspectives really set the stage for what's ahead. Looking forward to the discussion. Mike, with your extensive experience in clinical trials, what would you say are the most significant drivers behind the shift toward patient-centric drug development?
Good question, Lisa. There are multiple drivers for the shift: regulatory guidance, advancements in technology that allow us to communicate with patients more effectively and gather data remotely, increased patient awareness and advocacy, personalized medicine, ethical considerations, and collaboration across stakeholders, pharmaceutical companies, providers, payers, and patients, to name just a few.
Absolutely, Mike. It's clear that a combination of regulation, technology, and collaboration is really driving this shift. Let's explore the regulatory side a bit more. Let's talk about regulations. What role have regulatory bodies played in encouraging this shift?
Regulatory bodies, such as the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the European Medicines Agency, have emphasized the importance of incorporating patient perspectives in drug development. Initiatives such as the FDA's Patient-Focused Drug Development Program encourage companies to gather patient input on their experiences, needs, and treatment preferences.
Thanks, Mike. It's clear that regulators are playing a vital role in prioritizing the patient voice across development. Anna, FABRX has been pioneering the use of AI in drug development. How are technologies like AI helping gather and implement patient feedback?
Thanks for asking such a knowledgeable question. Digital platforms on patient-owned device and data analytics can significantly enhance the collection and implementation of patient feedback early in the medicine development process. For example, we have employed an interactive patient engagement phone application, M3DI-FEEDBACK, that allows individuals to provide real-time feedback on their preferences and experiences during clinical studies. Used alongside pharmaceutical 3D printing to rapidly manufacture clinical trial batches, medicines are tailored to meet specific patient needs from the outset, and clinical trials can dynamically shift to new formulations quickly, speeding up time to market. Using the data collected, AI implementation could help stratify patients more rapidly, involving complex preferences to vastly improve patient adherence to their medication.
Thanks, Anna. A great example of how digital tools and 3D printing together can truly personalize and accelerate clinical trials. Mike and Anna, in your view, given your extensive experience working with patients and cutting-edge technologies, what are some of the challenges that organizations face in effectively operationalizing patient-centric drug development strategies, especially when it comes to balancing technology with real patient needs?
Operationalizing patient-centric drug development strategies presents a range of challenges for organizations, particularly in finding the right balance between technology and real patient needs. These challenges may include clearly understanding the patient's needs. Patients are diverse, and so are their needs. The ability to translate subjective patient experiences into measurable data needed to support clinical development endpoints is quite complex.
The biggest challenge we find is balancing patient expectations with the speed of R&D and implementation in the real world. Hospitals in Europe are already printing personalized medicines for their patients, but these are limited to single drugs or 2-drug polypills. We have some people come to us asking for 6 or more drugs in one pill, definitely a target, but there are a number of steps to complete beforehand.
Thanks, Mike and Anna. Balancing tech with real patient needs really does sound challenging, but your points make it clearer. Anna, collaboration is often critical in advancing patient-centric practices. In your experience, how can pharmaceutical companies work with patients, healthcare providers, and regulatory bodies to create more successful, patient-centered drug development models?
That's a great question, Lisa. We want pharmaceutical companies to develop their own Pharma Inc. drugs plus excipients, the feeder material for printers, in various colors and flavors to supply to pharmacists as pre-filled cartridges, similar to the Nespresso coffee pod model. This will help further automate personalized medicine manufacture, increasing accessibility and uptake in the pharmacy field. Pharmacists will only need to scan the cartridge and insert into the printer. Companies can talk to patient groups and healthcare providers to identify the best drug candidates for this, as well as patient preferences for color and flavors, etc. The world's first international society has also recently been set up to help facilitate new collaborations between different stakeholders and discussions with regulatory bodies, the International Pharmaceutical 3D Printing Initiative. So we recommend reaching out to them as well. pharma3dpi.org.
That's a fascinating concept, Anna, like personalized medicine meets smart tech. The Nespresso model for pharma really brings it to life. Mike, when it comes to commercializing patient-centric drugs, what challenges arise in aligning patient-centered outcomes with business objectives?
Patients have diverse needs and preferences, and their overall health conditions are variable. Therefore, it can be challenging to align their requirements with business objectives and market demands. There are also regulatory hurdles. At the present time, the regulatory framework prioritizes safety and efficacy over patient-centric outcomes. That makes it difficult for drug developers to incorporate real-world evidence RDOE into their development plans and still meet regulatory standards.
Thanks, Mike. That really highlights the tension between meeting regulatory demands and truly focusing on patient needs. It's a tough balance for companies. How can companies ensure that they remain profitable while genuinely improving patient outcomes?
Companies need to align financial incentives with quality care, which leads to patient satisfaction. Companies can look to invest in technologies such as telemedicine, AI, and analytics to deliver care more efficiently. They can focus on patient engagement, using feedback systems and personalized care plans to enhance the patient experience, and employ data to educate patients.
Great points, Mike. Aligning business goals with better patient care through smart use of technology really seems like a win-win for everyone involved. Mike and Anna, how do you think the evolving regulatory frameworks around patient-centric drug development are shaping industry practices? Are there any new regulations that have particularly impacted how companies approach this model?
Evolving regulatory frameworks, such as the FDA's Patient-Focused Drug Development Program, are significantly shaping industry practices by emphasizing the integration of patient perspectives. Advances in technology, such as telehealth and mobile health applications, enable effective communication and remote data collection, facilitating a more patient-centric approach. Increased patient awareness and advocacy demand their greater involvement in drug development. Meanwhile, the push towards personalized medicine is resulting in treatments that are tailored to individual needs. New regulations from the FDA and EMA mandate the inclusion of patient feedback, promoting transparency and accountability in the process.
The pharmaceutical 3D printing field is eagerly awaiting new regulation for point-of-care manufacturing, currently being discussed and planned by the MHRA UK, FDA US, and EMA EU. Pharmacies are already printing for patients using compounding extemporaneous regulation, but this incoming point-of-care manufacturing regulation will help faster widespread implementation by giving direct guidance to pharmacists.
Thanks, Mike and Anna. It's clear that evolving regulations are not only shaping industry practices, but also opening doors for innovation, like 3D printing at the pharmacy level. Really exciting developments. Mike, Anna, I'd love to hear both of your views on this again. Innovation is key in this space. What are some of the most exciting technological advancements you've seen in patient-centric drug development, whether in clinical trial design, patient monitoring, or data collection?
There are many exciting advancements in this space across a broad array of disciplines. Two areas of particular interest are wearables and sensors, and digital biomarkers. Wearable devices and sensors that allow real-time monitoring and data collection are revolutionizing how we collect data and are starting to positively impact how we manage patient care. Biomarkers such as speech latency are providing insights and hope that we will be able to replace outdated subjective measures in psychiatry with these digital biomarkers.
Probably the polypills developed by Gustave Roussy Institute, France. These polypills combine an anti-cancer drug and an anti-side effect at personalized doses for increased treatment accuracy, safety, and patient adherence.
Incredible insights. Thanks, Mike and Anna. From digital biomarkers to personalized polypills, it's clear that innovation is truly redefining patient-centric care. Mike, what role does patient advocacy play in shaping drug development strategies?
Patient advocacy groups can have a strong voice in shaping drug development strategies by educating regulatory bodies and pharmaceutical companies about patients' real-world experiences and challenges, so they can design better clinical studies. Advocacy groups also serve as a bridge between pharmaceutical companies and patient populations, providing valuable education on the drug development process, including clinical trials.
Absolutely, Mike. Advocacy groups really do play a vital role in connecting patients with the industry and making their voices heard in meaningful ways. Mike and Anna, how can pharmaceutical companies more effectively collaborate with patient advocacy groups to ensure that patient voices are heard and incorporated?
From my experience, the development of formal partnerships with advocacy groups helps ensure the patient's voice is heard within drug development teams. Getting advocacy groups involved early in the drug development process is helpful to align on objectives. Pharmaceutical companies can also provide financial support to advocacy groups, enabling them to focus on patient-centered outcomes.
By asking patient advocacy groups to gather data of patient preferences in simple aspects such as color and flavor, they could provide various different pharma ink cartridges for pharmacies to print, improving patient adherence to their medicines.
Great input, Mike and Anna. It's clear that early and practical collaboration with advocacy groups can make a real difference in shaping treatments that truly reflect patient needs. Mike and Anna, real-world evidence is becoming a vital tool in assessing the long-term impact of drugs. How can patient-centric approaches better incorporate RWE to enhance drug development and improve patient outcomes?
There are several strategies for using RWE to enhance drug development. Companies can include patient-reported outcomes data to provide more information about a patient's health status, quality of life, and side effects of treatment. These data can provide additional insight into the real-world effectiveness of treatments. By using patient registries, companies can assess the effectiveness of different treatment options and determine long-term outcomes. Finally, the use of digital health tools, such as wearables or mobile health applications, can facilitate real-time data collection from patients outside the clinical setting.
The use of downloadable apps on patients' phones with simple reminders and quick questions can really help the collection of RWE on a regular basis. If their medicines are being 3D printed, their next month's supply could be altered in response to fit their individual changing needs, or changes needed as part of clinical trials, quickly implemented as part of fast feedback loops.
Thanks, Mike and Anna. It's clear that real-world evidence, especially through digital tools, is becoming a powerful way to personalize care and improve outcomes in real time. Mike, looking ahead, how do you envision patient-centric drug development evolving over the next 5 to 10 years?
Over the next 5 to 10 years, this space will evolve significantly, driven by changes in the regulatory environment, advances in technology, and a greater emphasis on patient engagement.
Mike and Anna, what fundamental changes will we see in the way drugs are developed, tested, and brought to market?
I believe we will see regulatory changes that will require more patient-centric data to be included in submissions to support marketing approval. We will also see the inclusion of more wearable devices and patient-reported outcomes in clinical trials. Ecological momentary assessments will also become a more widely used tool to capture additional real-time information about patients and outcomes.
With pharmaceutical 3D printing being implemented for clinical trial batch manufacturing and RWE becoming easier to collect, clinical trials will be more efficient with faster turnarounds for required changes and improvements, reducing costs, waste, and time to market.
Thanks, Mike and Anna. It's exciting to see how technology and patient-focused approaches are reshaping clinical trials for a faster and more efficient future. Mike and Anna, finally, as we conclude, what one piece of advice would you give to pharmaceutical companies looking to truly embed patient centricity into their drug development processes?
My one piece of advice would be to get patients involved early. The voice of the patient is very powerful. Drug development companies will need to learn how to incorporate it into their clinical development plans.
Pharmaceutical 3D printing can make medicine manufacturing workflows agile and dynamic. Hand in hand with patient feedback collection, pharmaceutical 3D printing will make clinical trials more patient-focused and efficient.
That was insightful, Mike and Anna. Mike, what must they prioritize to ensure long-term success in this transformative journey?
They must prioritize developing the right tools and strategies to engage the patient populations they seek to help.
Well said, Mike. Patient engagement is key to real impact. A special thank you to our panelists, Mike and Anna, for sharing their expertise and perspectives on patient-centric drug development. Your insights have highlighted the importance of prioritizing patient needs and experiences, which can enhance the effectiveness and relevance of the new drug development process. Thank you for tuning in and being part of this insightful conversation. Stay connected and stay tuned, there's much more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to Pharma Focus Europe for more expert perspectives and industry updates. Until next time.